What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for swiping right. And yeah, we're back talking about Sakurai's leaked DLC list. Yeah, a lot of people. I was like a lot of you guys, right? I thought this list was dead and buried because Rex was on the list, but Pyra and Mythra were not. So, what changed since then? Well, Sakurai recently had a couple interviews and articles and some snippets were taken out. And here's what Sakurai said specifically about Rex. When it was decided that we were making a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character, I immediately thought about whether it would be possible for Rex and Pyra, but he immediately thought about Rex. Rex, if you need a fresh reminder, is on that leaked DLC list that he had to choose from. Right there. There he is. Well, that's X, but there you go. Rex. He's on the list. So, does this list still have life? I kind of think it does. Again, I'm not saying I believe this is 100% legit, but in terms of having life, yeah, if Rex was initially considered, sure, there's this list, you know? But, you know, maybe during development, like Sakurai says right here, we also concluded it was too difficult to even have Rex as the main fighter while Pyra was in the backline, so they had to do something different. So that's why they went with Pyra and Mythra. So Rex was actually thought of, but due to technical limitations, it couldn't happen. So it's sad, but again, Rex was considered. Rex was on the list. All right, so here's the thing about the list, right? I think the biggest thing going against the list for people, and I completely understand why. There's no ARMS character on this list. It doesn't even say ARMS character. It doesn't list any specific ARMS characters either. So that's a big red flag to everybody. Like, all right, it should be dead right there. But we always got to remember, ARMS character and the ARMS character, which happened to be Min Min, was a special request. Now, if something comes along later in development that's a special request, well, of course, it's not going to be on your initial list. So, to me, that does make sense. Again, I'm not stating this list is 100% real. I still have my doubts about it because, again, it's Smash Bros. How many leaks are actually real? I don't know. But, so, it brings the question, does this list have life? Now, why does it? Well, like we said, Rex was on the list and he was considered. So, what else kind of makes sense about this list? You know who's on this list that like nobody's talking about for some reason? Maybe it's because hardly anybody has the new spirit. Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins. Now again, I know he's not playable, but the fact that he was on this considered list and yet he still actually gets into the game in some capacity with the spirit. Now, if you don't know, there is a brand new Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins spirit. And you can obtain this early by actually buying the, what is it, Ghosts and Goblins, is it Resurrection? The new Ghosts and Goblins game on the Nintendo Switch. If you have a save file data on your Switch and boot up Smash Bros, you get the Arthur Spirit for free. It will come into the game a little bit later on, along with the Persona 5 Striker Spirit, but it's like a bonus for owning the game. And plus, remember at the towards the Mii costume portion, when Sakurai even said he was pleasantly surprised they did another or remake of the Ghosts and Goblins game. Sounds like Sakurai was a fan of Arthur's, so could Arthur have been considered? Maybe that's why he's on this list. I don't know. Like, Sakurai at least seems to be a fan of Arthur, and maybe if he was on this list and he goes, all right, he's not going to be a playable character, but I'd still like to get him in the game. There you go, spirit. He's a spirit. So, man, this list just will not go away, will it? This keeps popping back up. So again, you got to keep in mind. This list has, 40 characters, right? And this is still an argument, which I don't completely understand. If you make a list, you, personally, if you were to make a list, remember, this was May 31st of 2019. This is almost 2 years ago when we only knew about Joker as a DLC character. I mean, I guess technically Piranha Plant was, but paid DLC, I mean, because he's free, whatever. The only character we knew about at the time for Fighter's Pass was Joker. Of course, he's on this list. So, go back to that time frame. And you're going to tell me you're going to create a list of 40 characters. You know what? you're going to put characters on here that you like, other characters that you don't like, characters that you actually think have a legit chance, characters that maybe you're like, okay, maybe it could be kind of a fun sleeper pick, like a couple other characters on here. Maybe Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins, Bill Reiser could be sleeper picks. Who else? We got Flynn from Shin Megami Tensei. That could be considered, Linkle. Those could be like sleeper picks. So you're going to throw some of those in here. But the point I'm trying to make is you're going to put the heavy hitters. You're going to put the most speculated. If you're going to throw this out to the community, you're going to be like, hey, I have the leaked list that Sakurai chose from. You're going to put the characters, again, from that time frame, from May 31st, 2019. You're going to put characters from that time frame onto this list to make it seem the most believable. Now, why is this a point? Well, you know who's missing? Actually, three major things that are missing. Gino. Whether you like him or not, he's always brought up. So if there's going to be a leaked list, Gino would be on the leaked list, to try to convince other people. Guess what? Nope. Gino's not on this list. He should be on this list if you're trying to pull off a fake to convince people. He's a big name in the Smash community. Whether you like it or not, he's going to be talked about. You know who's another one? They have Byleth, right? Fire Emblem. Okay, sure. But at the time frame, again, going back to that 2 years ago, you know who was another character from Three Houses everybody was talking about? I was about to say Byleth. Edelgard. Edelgard was another character. It was Byleth and Edelgard. Those were like the two everyone was thinking. A lot of people were hoping it was Edelgard because she wouldn't have a sword. A lot of people were pitting her with a battle axe instead, just to make it a bit different weapon. So why is Edelgard also not on this list? Because keep in mind, at the time, Three Houses had not released. Again, we hadn't got Byleth when this list was presented to the internet. But you should have Edelgard on here, in my opinion. And if you don't think Edelgard would be on here, why is there a Pokemon not on here? That's very interesting. It doesn't. Pokemon, no Gen 8. Nope, nothing. Not on there anywhere. Even says down here at the bottom, right? Weird how low the Nintendo-owned character count is. Extremely low. With no sight of an 8th generation Pokemon, keep in mind. If you're going to make a fake list, you're going to put on the characters that are going to, make sense if you're trying to trick people. All right, yeah, of course, a new Pokemon is going to be considered. Of course, Gino's going to be considered. You're going to have those on this list, but they're not. So I think that kind of lends at least a little bit credibility to this list's validity. Again, I'm not saying it's 100% true. I myself don't believe it, but I'm saying I don't know, it has reason to be believed. It has reason, because again, it's got every character so far. Again, you're going to go back 2 years ago, and you're going to make this list, and I still see this argument. All right, yeah, I can put down 40 characters on the list, right? Well, you know who one character that got into Smash Bros. Through the Fighters Pass, the first Fighters Pass specifically, that when he got revealed was a literal who? That was the reaction this character was getting. And I'm talking about none other than Terry Bogard himself. Come on, you know either yourself or a friend of yours went, who's Terry Bogard? Never heard of this guy. Get him out of the... He took up a roster spot of my favorite character. If you're gonna do that, you could have sleeper picks, but would Terry Bogard even have been considered a sleeper pick in the Smash community when his overall resounding reveal was who? I don't know if you'd even consider that. So, you've gotten every character, and you can't... I don't like the argument because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but you can't make the argument that, yes, I'm going to make a list and I can get everything correct too. This list has actually gotten everything. Again, the ARMS situation set aside because it was a special request, so there's possibility to it being real right there, I guess. But every character so far. So that kind of brings me to one more point here. If we take this list into consideration for the potential final 2 remaining spots, let's break it down by company, shall we? Let's break it down by company. So, I guess specifically Fighters Pass 2. With the fan rule, and it is a fan rule, Sakurai and Nintendo have not stated this anywhere, so this is a fact. With the fan rule that we cannot get multiple characters from the same series or same company within the same Fighters Pass, we can rule out quite a bit of characters, right? So what series hasn't had a rep so far? So far we've had Nintendo. I guess Nintendo's an exception. They're first party, so much easier than third party. So more first party is definitely possible from Nintendo. So we've had Steve from Minecraft, and we've had I guess you could say, we'll say Microsoft. Okay, we'll say Microsoft. So you've had Master Chief's not even on this list. There's another character that I think people would probably have thrown on here to try to make it believable. But so we have a Microsoft rep and we have a Square rep. So who does that leave? Well, we got characters like Amaterasu, we got Arthur, both Capcom characters. Capcom does not have a rep in Fighters Pass 2, so technically they should be, by this fan rule, in the running for a spot. Okay, sure. Got Bill Reiser from Konami. Konami doesn't have a rep in the Fighters Pass. That's possible. Again, you got characters like Captain Toad, first party, but again, that should be an obvious exception, right? But then Chun-Li, of course, Capcom. You got Crash, Activision. You got Doomslayer. Well, Doomslayer might be in a tiny weird situation because of the whole Vault Boy Mii costume, and why wouldn't they say Vault Boy for, you know, his Mii costume for a Doomslayer reveal? You could throw that argument out there, but I guess technically Bethesda does not have a rep, even though, yes, now he's a Microsoft rep, but at the time he wasn't. Confusing, I know, but we got Ezio Auditore, who ended up we got the Altair Mii costume, right? Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, right? Okay. Got Hayachi. What's Hayachi? Bandai? Where's Bandai's character? Like, you can kind of, if we're going to say this list is legit, we can honestly kind of pick out who are the front runners. So, you got characters from companies that are already repped, so you could throw them out the window. But then again, you got other characters on here. You got Yuri Lowell. You got where's Lloyd? Lloyd Irving's on here. We still got Monster Hunters on the list, but their Mii costume just returned, so presumably they're off the list. Rayman's on here. Ryu Hayabusa is on here. Koei Tecmo. Just gonna say that. Who else we got? Spyro again. Activision. So we could honestly probably, if this list is to be real, we could probably pick who's the most legit from this list. But I'll let you guys do that in the comments. Either way, what do you think? Is this list still alive? I kind of think it's still alive. I don't think it's been 100% concrete debunked. At least in my eyes, it has not. So let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments. Either way, that is it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed as always. And yeah, I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.